Air Gunster asks, how do you deal with the situation where you collect more tasks per day than you're able to actually accomplish or resolve? Well, Air Gunster, my big picture piece of advice here would be don't run from it. I think this is a tendency that a lot of people have when they have too much on their plate. They have too much coming in for them to actually accomplish, is to just cower, to put their head in the sand and say, okay, let me just let that build up in my inbox or ignore it, or they'll bother me again if it really becomes urgent. I don't want to deal with the impossibility of what's on my plate. And I think that does not make things better. You need to face it. So do the capture. Like I just told H, have working memory.txt, get everything, zero friction, so everything gets recorded, move it into systems, and face it. And if it's an impossible load, then quantify how impossible it is. See it there in black and white. Is it 400 obligations and they're all due tomorrow? Then look at a list of 400 obligations that are all done tomorrow. Quantify the impact of the catastrophe. Don't run from it. Face it. You think it's going to make you more stressed, but it's not. Seeing the dragon, this is classic mythology. Seeing the dragon is always better in the long run from a fear perspective than just looking towards that cave with the smoke billowing out and shaking and saying, I don't want to have anything to do with that. In all of the classic mythologies, the hero actually goes into the cave. Facing the dragon is almost always better. It seems stressful, it seems scary, but to know what you're dealing with, it's like when you confess to the crime that's been gnawing at the back of your head, there's some relief into it. Okay, now I'm facing the full consequences of what's in front of me. Okay, now what happens? Let's say you're facing the reality of all these tasks and it's more than you can get done in a reasonable amount of time. Well, there's some options here. I mean, you can't magically make it go away, but there's some options here. A, you might actually start making some changes, right? You might say, if you're self-employed, I'm doing too much. This is crazy. I can see it black and white. Something's got to give. If you work for someone else, you can quantify it. Hey, boss, I'm looking at this list. I'm very studious. About capturing everything I need to do and organizing everything I need to do. And I'm looking at this list, and this seems like it's too much. We have to do something about this. Also, you can optimize. You have 400 tasks. They're all due tomorrow, right, in this extreme scenario. Well, you can't do 400 tasks, but you can choose the best 5 to do. And you know what? You're probably better off getting the best possible 5 tasks that were possible in the time you had, getting those done, than you would just saying, I don't want to face the reality and I'm going to sort of randomly do some work and randomly do some emails and feel exhausted. So that's what I would say, Air Gunster. Always face the dragon. See everything on your plate. Keep it clear. Keep it organized. Respond to what's there. Do the best with what's there. It seems more stressful in the moment, but in the long term, you are going to end up with less stress, feeling more control, and getting more done with what you actually have available.